is a historic day when we welcome him to the party that he should belong. I want to say to you, my dear friends, that the FDC would never be complete without Erias Lukwago joining it. Many times I have heard, and from my friends in the media who have chosen to distort what FDC is and what its strength means to the politics of this country. Anybody who dismisses the FDC makes a great mistake. We are here, and we are here to grow stronger and stronger. Anybody who proclaimed that FDC when we will be announcing our presidential flag bearer, that was a misrepresentation of the processes that go on in the FDC. I would like to inform you, my fellow members of this great party, that the FDC is still undergoing the processes of ensuring that we get a flag bearer. I want to promise you today that we will be having a flag bearer in the next election, even if, in the words of my brother Semuju, it's a Kiai election. And so I want to confirm to you that we cannot rule out the possibility that Dr. Kizza Besigye will be our flag bearer. We cannot rule out the possibility that Mulodi may be our flag bearer. We cannot rule out the possibility that Nathan Nandala Mafadi will be our flag bearer. We cannot rule the possibility that Chairman Waswa Biringo Mrongo may be not even the possibility that OH Tibwa Joyce Nabosa and of course, you cannot rule out the possibility that power FDC is a rich party, rich with talent and skills. It is not going to fail to sponsor a presidential flag bearer in the election of 2020. I have a message for Mr. Museveni, who is organizing a sham election. We know all the dynamics that are taking place now are intended to make it a fait accompli. I want to say to Museveni, we are coming to this election in two fronts. One of the fronts is going to be a fighting front. And the struggle is on. I know that Dr. Kizza Besigye will be talking about this aspect of the struggle. The other front that is going to complement that front is going to be the electoral front. And I want to thank you all who have taken the step of courage to pick expression of interest forms and the forms for nomination. Today we are proud to have 512 candidates vying for various parliamentary seats. This to us is not a mean achievement. We also have people who have picked forms to run in the various electoral areas in different positions. And so we are going to the war front. The battle lines have been drawn. We are the blue people who have fought for every little space that we occupy today. We are the two people who will continue to give Mr. Museveni headache. We are the two people who will not let our NRM people who have let us down the opportunity to continue dominating our people and suppressing them. And so, we are going to this election in a war formation. Hello. We are going to this election fighting. And I want you to get ready, my dear friends, for this battle ahead of us. We will not be intimidated. How many of you are ready for this? One people. I want to thank Madam Mrs. Lukwago Nalongo for keeping for this country an able leader. When we see Erias Lukwago walking out of City Hall to do his work, we know besides this man, there is a strong woman. And today, as I publicly lay praise on you, I want to lay praise on all the women of Uganda, especially all women in the FDC who have kept us going. At one time, the FDC didn't seem attractive to women. But today we have opened the floodgates for women to join the FDC and to hold various positions. I thank you all for being worthy partners in this struggle to bring change to this country. My dear brother, Mulodi Wali, welcome to this family. Not many people would want to join the party, a party that the media and political opportunists would like to portray as a dying party. But you know what our DNA is. And so you came to where you belong. Welcome to the FDC. Welcome to your home. This is your home. And I believe, my dear friends of the FDC, that we have a high quality person joining us today. We would like to continue calling on those who continue to sit on the fence that now is the time. This is a good example. Mulodi has come to the party. Who are you who will keep out of this party? Before I invite our guest of honor today to speak, that is Mulodi Erias Lukwago Salongo, permit me to say something about possible alliances or coalitions with other political parties and political stakeholders. As I address you on this matter, I want to remind you of our history, where during the IPC days, we attempted to coalesce with partners. The FDC, more than any other group, was injured during that attempt to coalesce. That was ahead of the election of 2011. Ahead of the election of 2016, there was an attempt by the party under the TDA to cause a coalition. Again, the most injured party in that attempt was the FDC. And so, together with young people and other progressive forces, we said no to the TDA, and we went to the TDA and said, we don't want anything to do with what you are discussing here. We just want one person. And so we got Dr. Kiza Besige and brought him back here. Brought him back here. Time has absolved us of the fact that the people coalescing with us have in that coalition. Number two, what do they bring to the coalition? And number three, how do we know they are not working with our tormentor? Because many organizations and groups have been infiltrated by the dictator. Senior officials of some organizations are actually agents of the dictatorship. Here in the FDC, we saw them and we decided to tell them that they didn't have good intentions for the party. Some of them to usher in the Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago. I am going to ask the senior members of the party, the Secretary General, the Chairman of the party, my deputies, and I will also be asking, representing Parliament, the leader of the minority, the Deputy Lord Mayor, and as I mentioned the Deputy Lord Mayor, I would like to thank you, my Lord, for honoring the FDC. By appointing the Honorable Nyanjura Doreen to deputize you. I also want to recognize the authority ministers whom you found worthy of serving in your cabinet. Thank you very much for honoring us as a party. And now, I don't know whether you are going to be the Lord Mayor or the President of Uganda. It's time that will tell us. Decided to keep your position. We want to promise that as a party, we shall continue to cooperate with you in all ways. Mama, you can sit on that chair. I would prefer sitting down than you keeping standing. Sit on that chair. That is the Honorable Imad Atim Sisi into the FDC. Deputy Chairman. In recognition that Secretary General just write Erias Lukwago's name,
It's okay. Don't worry, it's okay.
Secretariat, give us an extra card because Nalongo has to work with Salongo. There is no way we shall allow Salongo to be blue and Nalongo to be green or red. No way. In the FDC we move in pairs. Can we get a second card? As we wait for that card, on behalf of the FDC leadership and on my behalf, we would like to usher the Lord Mayor of Kampala, Salongo Erias Lukwago, into the FDC by presenting him card number 61647. One Uganda, one people. Welcome to this great party, Lord Erias. As you play your role in the party, you need to be conversant with the instruments of the party. We will offer to you a free copy of the FDC Constitution, which is our white cane as we go out in the execution of our duties. We will also be calling on your expertise as a legal practitioner to advise us on this constitution. Because this constitution is still work in progress. On behalf of the FDC and on my own behalf, I hand to you the party constitution of the FDC. We also have the honor to hand to you the FDC policy agenda dubbed Uganda Leap Forward. This is something that contains an abridged version of our policy, and would like you to carefully read it so that as you go out to speak about the FDC, you are well equipped. This is the summarized version of the same document, which you can keep and keep reading. In fact, keep it under your pillow so that you can read it to Nalongo during your extra time. This is our brand. We are the blue people, and we are proud to be blue. I have seen you putting on pink shirts, sometimes green shirts, a brown suit. Today you are being instructed by the president of this party that I shall be dressed in blue, and this is our color. We hand to you the shirt. I'm sure the first shirt that you should keep actually for historical purposes as you buy other blue shirts.
FDC
We are going to ask Salongo to fill this card on behalf of Nalongo, so that we are going to ask you to be the one to hand this card, because you became a party member first before her. She's going to sign it first. I want to request all of you, my comrades, to stand up to welcome Erias Lukwago, those of you who are seated. And as we do that, hold on DJ, I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Grace Sebina from the Conservative Party. Conservative Party led by Owechitibwa John Ken Lukwago, the man. We are going to salute Erias Lukwago, members of the FDC. Yes. FDC, oye! I don't hear you. City Hall should know that Erias now is here. FDC, oye! Dr. Kizabeski, oye! Salongo Erias Lukwago, oye! One Uganda! One people! One Uganda! Yes! I'll ask my friends to resume their seats. Now take this singular honor on behalf of the FDC. You want to dance for the Lord Mayor?
Yes. Your name.
Okay, the Lord Mayor will take the podium as we usher him in with the song. Nalongo, every woman belongs to the FDC Women's League. Every woman of the FDC. You want a shirt which will be used to identify you as a member of the blouse, not a shirt. Lodi, you are welcome to address us. Wow, 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 wow. Hey! Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a day, what a moment. God is great. All the time, and those are his ways. Thank you very, very much, my dear brothers and sisters. How for you, Mate? The founding president and the people's president, Colonel retired Dr. Chiza Besije. The party president, my brother, Honorable Power Amuriat. The vice presidents who are here, my dear sister and mommy, Owechitiwa Sebukwago, Honorable Kumurikan, Imat, Cecilia Ogwara, Honorable Mukade Wafe, Honorable Chapa Karuhanga, member of the Presidium in the People's Government. My brother Kenny Rujams, a member of the Presidium in the People's Government. The Secretary General of the mighty FDC and your deputy. The National Chairman, you will excuse me for issues of protocol. The National Chairman of the party, members of NEC, members of Parliament present here. I can see you are here in big numbers. Menyani Dekani. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you in your respective capacity. Before I delve into my speech, allow me introduce to you my better half here, Narongo Tawe Kongo. And as you know, Omulodiwe Chibuka Kampala, I have a cabinet, a full cabinet. That full cabinet, Madam Lope, as you are leading your team in the Parliament, or leader of the minority in the Parliament, as you lead your team, I also have the leader of the team of the government of Umrod, who is the deputy road mayor. I have the minister in charge of public health and education, Honorable Olifunamas. I have the minister in charge of civil works and physical planning, Honorable Kennedy Okero. I've seen here a number of road councillors, Honorable Alice Amoni. Honorable Alice Amoni. She's been here dancing those stroke. Yaramanoi. Your name. They have also seen Honorable Moses Okwera somewhere and others. You are all most welcome. I thank you very, very much. Honorable Alan Kawuchire, I have not seen you. No, Honorable Mutazindwa, those gentlemen and ladies mean a lot to me, because you know what is going on at State Hall and the struggles we are involved in. Honorable Dolin Sabuka from Machi, India West. I'm sorry I did not get the list. Like the party president has observed here, there's been a lot of speculation in the press, both mainstream and social media. But I'm glad it has been fully explained here. The reason we have assembled here at the headquarters of FDC has been clearly explained and articulated. I don't need to labor so much to explain it. But for record purposes, I would like to read a written speech. It will be segmented. It will be into phases. One, I will deliver a written one, and then I will make off-the-cuff remarks, probably in Uganda, and call it a day. You will accept. I will request you will bear with me. And I have a few copies, which I will request, please kindly circulate them, those who may be in position to get them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with the issue of protocol and citations. This is my maiden speech as a member of the FDC. It is truism to say that I've been to Najanankumbi on several occasions. I have flashed the V sign. I've shouted the FDC symbol, motto or slogan, in the capacity of a visitor and a comrade in the struggle. But today, I feel immensely elated and excited at this momentous occasion to do so when it was still in its formative stages as the reform agenda. I can elaborate on this. I have enjoyed a cordial relationship with all of you right from the inception of this party. We have had a very good working relationship. We have shared quite a lot. We have been indeed members of the same family, but different colors. I would wish, in the same vein, to salute and pay tribute to the progenitors of this great party, both dead and living, particularly the founding party president, retired Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye, and all the successive leaders who have steered this great party to different levels in such a hostile and grotesque political environment. I say to you, Dr. Besigye and your colleagues, kudos. Permit me to say that I owe a great deal of gratitude to my cradle, that is the Democratic Party, for the immense contribution they have made towards the development and growth of my career, right from the time I was still at the university where I cut my political teeth, that is in the mid-1990s. Because that's when we started the UID, that's when we were very, very active as young men and women at the university. I teamed up with the colleagues and we became very, very active both in the struggle and in that nascent institution, UID, which is affiliated to the Democratic Party. And we have moved as a team up to this very moment. So I salute my colleagues in the Democratic Party. The trials and tribulations notwithstanding, I will forever treasure the memorable but roller coaster journey that I have walked with the DP comrades. Of course, not forgetting my solid record and enormous contribution to the party's historical profile as one of the vanguards of rule of law, constitutionalism, civil liberties, social justice, and all those aspects of the struggle, especially in the area of public interest litigation. That is a record that cannot be wished away. That the Democratic Party offered me that solid platform to showcase my potentials, to explore those horizons which are well documented
and in the end, to make a contribution to the development and progress of this country, specifically in the area of rule of law, constitutionalism, and good governance. And that record is there. So it's a record I will always remember, it's a record I will always treasure. Permit me again to say that it was on that premise, among other factors, that the then leadership of one of the great men and celebrated statesmen in this country, and the patriarch, for that matter, for the Democratic Party, Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, honored me with a life membership card number 11. I want you to pay attention to this. Because of my contribution to the development of the EP, to the building of that platform, to the progress of this country, to the fight against bad governance, the fight for restoration of rule of land constitutionalism, I was recognized by the then leadership, credible leadership of Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, who up to this particular moment remains one of those strong patriarchs of the party and one of those statesmen we have in this country. That leadership honored me when I was still a very, very young man with a life membership card in the Democratic Party number 11. Now the question you will ask me, what's going to happen to that card that was given to you? I have a simple answer. It's going to remain in my archives as a souvenir. You can call it a memento. If you have a Chiganda accent like myself, you can call it a memento. A memento. So whoever asks you as to what has happened to the life membership card of Erias Lukwago, which was given to him way back in 2004 when I was still a young man. Of course, this year I broke 50. Yes, I broke 50. But by then I was still a very young man. So the simple answer you should give, you should help me by telling whoever poses that question that that is a memento. A memento. It's a souvenir. It will remain there in the archives. I would like to outrightly place a caveat. No. The foregoing notwithstanding, I'm convinced beyond all shades of doubt, I'm talking about that record, the strong record I have in the Democratic Party. That history, that profile I built within the Democratic Party, which I've said will never be wished away by anyone. I am saying now, I'm convinced beyond all shades of doubt that now is the time for me to move on and open a new chapter in my political career. I want to underscore this. I've taken this decision as an adult of sound mind with my own free will. I am persuaded again that it would be imprudent of me to delve into the nitty-gritty of what has compelled me to relinquish my life membership card in DP, but rather focus my attention on the justification for having chosen to join FDC. I request, and I want to repeat this, kindly bear with me. I will not go into those issues, the reasons why I've left DP. That is a matter for history. What now I'm focusing on going forward are the reasons and justification for my decision to join FDC. And allow me at this juncture to move into that direction. I would like to outrightly place a caveat or disclaimer that I would have been by any stretch of imagination imbued or motivated by self-aggrandizement. I'm not here for self-aggrandizement. I want to stress that. My decision has not been informed by a desire, one, to come here for anything material. No. I know for sure a vast majority of you and other right-thinking members of this country will attest to the fact that I have no scintilla or iota of political scheming within my DNA. You know that anyone can get the Bible, can get the Quran, and testify to that fact. You can attest to that fact. That once, if you are to examine Lukwago, the DNA of Lukwago, you will not find an iota of scheming. It's not there in my blood. So I'm not here because I've come here to scheme for anything. And those who have been speculating, please hold your fire kindly. I'm not here for political scheming. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm here at Inajanamkunda. I therefore would like to unequivocally underscore the fact that I have not come to FDC as a fortune hunter, looking for freebies, groceries, or what in political parlance is termed as a meal card. I've not come here for a meal card. And at the risk, I want to say this, at the risk of breaching the principle of modesty, I would like to state that all the time I've served as Omulodiwa Kampala, I have never been expressly endorsed by my former party. That's why I wanted to underline this particular aspect. Those of you may be mistaken to think that I'm here for a meal card. I'm at stay whole without the endorsement, at least express endorsement, formal endorsement of the Democratic Party. Despite the fact that I've been a strong and a staunch member of the DP, but I've not been at stay whole, and I'm not at stay whole on DP ticket. So I'm not here for a meal card. All this I'm saying to stress a point that I'm not here for a meal card and I'm not here for scheming. I want to conclude this particular point that personally, I abhor the culture of meal card politics, which is quite pervasive within our body politic. With all due respect to whoever may feel offended by my remarks, I always cringe at the sight of a political leader roaming around with a party ticket as an ATM card, and such elements shouldn't be tolerated by any serious political party. Members of the Kalapuru family, please. The FDC ticket, those of you who are in elective politics, I request we shouldn't treat it as an ATM card. To slot it into a machine and it emits money for you. There is that culture of people treating party tickets. Party tickets, the card have been given here, or the ticket that can be given, I use it as an ATM card. I'm sorry, whoever feels offended, I've already registered my apologies. But I'm speaking out my mind. My coming to FDC, now these are the reasons. My coming to FDC is primarily intended to cement my bond, which I've already explained, with a team of patriotic and charismatic leaders who have over the years unflinchingly championed a multifaceted struggle to create political sanity in this country and build a free, prosperous, and just society. That is all I am to tell you as the fundamental reason as to why I've taken a decision to join the team here at Ndugu. No doubt about that. We've been coming through thick and thin together. So I'm here for that particular purpose. It cannot be gainsaid that FDC fasted and prosperity for all. are the core values, if you examine my vessels here, which are flowing within my blood. Conviction to the philosophy of defiance, as espoused by FDC and the People's Government, as a potent tool of empowering the citizens to be able to subdue the gun culture which has dominated the politics of this country since colonial days. The day I was appointed as Deputy President, and I want to underline these members, which I really appreciate and thank Dr. Chizabesige for. When we inaugurated this cabinet at some place many of you are aware of, it was made very, very clear that we are establishing a war cabinet to spearhead the struggle, to empower the citizens, to be able to subdue the gun, bring it under control. It is the gun which is responsible for the crisis we are experiencing today. So that is a mission I think we should continue with here. And in my statement here, it was actually described as the unfinished business by Dr. Besige in his book, which I'm sure many of you have read. So members, that unfinished business is our responsibility to deal with, together with our commander in the struggle, retired Colonel Dr. Chizabesige. And it's one of the reasons why I'm teaming with you in a more formal manner, in a more formal way, to continue advancing that struggle. Finally, I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, that we remain steadfast on the cause we have always championed and pursued under the framework of the People's Government of forging a principled and formidable synergies with other progressive forces and change-seeking organizations or formations in the advancement of the liberation struggle. This is our appeal that we have always championed this cause together. Though we have been in different formations, different political parties, at least we have had that common ground that we build the synergies to advance the struggle for liberation. Let us continue with the same. I am really convinced that we can't go it alone. And I'm glad the party president here has alluded to that fact, and indeed he laid bare the principles that are going to guide that particular process. And I implore you and appeal to you colleagues, we continue with that spirit and push the struggle to another level. Those principles you have laid out here, Mr. President, are quite good and fundamental, given the experience we have encountered before. Personally, I've been in these processes. Actually, you've mentioned the TDA. I was in the G6 representing DP as a very young man. Every time we would sit as G6 members, I would be on the team representing DP. And we have had these issues time and again, discussing here and there, without coming to fruition. The IPC experience, you are aware of what happened. Do you know what happened with the IPFC? No, IPC experience. Of course, IPC, I was IPFC, Interpolitical Forces Cooperation. That was IMAT here, Honorable Cecilia Ogwara and others. Those are the peers, those are the people who are behind that particular arrangement. But some of us started with the G6, then IPC, then the TDA. This time around, I don't know what's going to be. But the principles are very good. I think we should stick to that. Of course, with an open hand to all those progressive forces. I would like to again state that the prevailing political environment calls for a common front for all democracy-seeking forces with a minimum transition agenda that will engender or usher in a genuine democratic dispensation. That's why I wanted to say that I believe in that. A common front that can engender a transition arrangement to pave way for democratic change. I would like to conclude by sending a simple message to my detractors, because there are so many, I've seen them, they have been at it in the social media all over since last night. And all those charlatans, they are those charlatans who are hell-bent on maligning me. I should say to them that please don't be oblivious of the fact that the man you see here at Lukwago Erias, I'm a seasoned politician, but not a seasonal one. I want to put that in bold and underline it. I am a seasoned politician, but not a seasonal one. I've taken this decision of joining FDC. Wait a minute. I've taken this decision of joining FDC as a seasoned politician. The seasonal politicians can take theirs, but a seasoned one, this is my decision. I respect theirs, they should respect mine. Because this is a free world where we have to make our own choices. I've said I'm an adult of sound mind who is 50 years this year of the Lord. I once again reiterate my earlier affirmation that Najana Nkumbi is my home. I'm at peace with my conscience. I'm at peace with my heart. I'm at peace with my soul. In good and bad times, in sickness and in health, in swallowing tear gas or watermelons, in getting chiboko or chicken drumsticks, we shall always trudge together. And allow me to put this in some Concoruganda, this word trudge, I used it deliberately. The word trudge means okubebera. That in all these difficult circumstances, in health and sickness, in swallowing tear gas or watermelon, in getting chiboko, in getting detained, in getting humiliated and harangued, we shall be better together. We shall always trudge together. I am quite confident and optimistic that with God's grace and hard work, we shall overcome the challenges before us, and we shall rise and shine together. For God and my country, I will say just a few remarks in Uganda and conclude. Just very briefly. Mbagambye basebole bajja bujagala bino bikuliza mu Uganda. Bakadde bange, mikwano gyange, baganda bange. Size ku FDC kuno na mbirukade. Size ku FDC kweyagaliza byange. Size ku FDC kunoonya ze bayita groceries oba mandazi. Size ku FDC kwekulumiza oba kweraga nti ndi wa kitalo. Nzize okukwatagana n'abalwanyi n'ab'ekiti. Okiromutwalo olutalo. Olusigukula n'akyemalirayo Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Atuyisiza akakandi okumala emyaka mingi. Tirikodi FDC eyogerera. Okufiira ddala mu biseera bya reform agenda. Tuzze tutambulira wamu. Okutuuka olwaleero lwendi Deputy President mu People's Government. Nga nze Deputy wa Kano Dr. Kiza Besigye People's President. Olugendo olwo sina budde bululambulula. Naye lwe tutambudde luwanvu. Lubaddemu enkonge n'amayinja. Lubaddemu obuteebe ne tububuuka. Lubaddemu okufa abamu abantu baffe baafa sijja bamalayo. N'abalala bangi abalemaziddwa. Abalala bangi abatalina family bamulekwa. Abalala bangi abakyabonaabona n'olwaleero. Ne ŋŋamba nti nedda. Mumuyaga omungi oguli mu ggwanga. Nga buli omu ayaayaana okulaba nga tununula eggwanga lino. nyina okukwatagana n'abapambanyi bano njagala okumaliriza bwenti nga nsukumiza ekigambo kino nti President kyayogeddeko wano onale bamulia ababadde babiteeka mawulire titwazze wano lwa nsonga ndala. Please ensonga eyo mugikomye. Twazze wano ku kintu, nze ndi wano ku kintu kimu kyakwegatta ku balwanyi tugende maaso n'olutalo. Ani anaakwata namba ki mu lutalo? Ani anaakwata mundu eyenkana ki oba mashini gani ki oba kino ki? Pati batulaze ina ssemateeka waayo n'obukulembeze bwayo obwo bwe binaamulamula. FDC kemanyi era gyenyingidde olunaku lw'olwaleero sikirabangako ng'ekola ebintu by'ekifandulo. Naye n'ofeerera oganti olwaleero FDC ezze kwanjula. Ekyo kyekyalibadde surprise of the year. FD kyekyalisembeyo okukola. Bannange muleme kunafuya abantu balwanye lutalo balutambuza kutuuka wano we tuli. Ekyo kakati mukinyonyi ekisembayo ekino mutegeerekeke bulungi. Buli omu alina choice ye. Omusimulo buli omu agoberera omutima gwe gwagala age. Oyinza okuba ng'owulira ng'obadde onjagala wano oba onjagala wali omutima gwange nga guŋŋamba FDC. Mwegayirite. Singa omutima gwange kyegukoze eki kigusazeewo. Waliwo oli agamba nti omubiri gukyaga omutima guga simanyi omubiri sijja kugoberera mubiri ng'omutima guŋŋamba wano. Njagala okumalirizayo nga ŋŋamba kino. Waliwo abagamba nti Lukwago oba walisigadde nga bw'obadde naye mbabuuziza kino era kakyogere ku muzindaalo. Bonna be tukolagana nabo mu byobufuzi abali wano be FDC n'abatali wano be tukwatagana nabo bonna mu struggle buli omu bwe tumaliriza addayo ewuweeka ne bagenda mu kala ezo ez'enjawulo. Nze bwe mbadde nyina gye njagala okugenda ewange gye nazaalibwa gye nkulidde ennaku ezo nga banga nti kuliko ki? Kuliko bagala proof. Nga kakati nkoze ntya bwe naagenda ne nsanga bagala proof ngende menye emyaka nyina 5 amaanyi ge nyina gakulwanyisa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Sirina maanyi gakulwanyisa mulala. Njagala okubasaba musonyiwa olw'okuba leero embeedde speech yange njogedde bingi sibyali kusewa. Naye njagala okumaliriza ebigambo byange nga ŋŋamba bwe nti bannange buli omu w'oli ng'olinawo weri mu nnyumba yo nange munzikirize mbeereko ewaka. Waliwo ekigambo ekimu omuntu omu kye yayogera n'abagayi sijja kgenda mu ebyo. We baali mu biseera bya impeachment waliwo omuntu eyankudaalira sijja bigendamu n'abagambye ebyo sijja bigendamu naye yaŋŋamba nti Lukwago kaboneebone kaba mukube ng'abakuba street boy. Munali street boy kuba nti sirina waki FDC mwebale okunyumiriza mu bulungi ne mu bubi mu mbeera yonna. Ate tubadde ffenna twemanyi fensi zonna zendaba wano tewali mpya gyendi fensi zwe tubadde era tugenda kusigala ffenna tugenda maaso nga Mukama ye mubeezi waffe. Naye tulabe nti tukwatagana n'abantu baffe abalala nga pate president bw'ayogedde nti kubanga lino eggwanga kati lyetaaga buli omu okukwatagana ne munne. Tulabe abo be tuliredde okukwatagana nabo tukwatagane buli omu tugaba n'olubimbi gwe kwata wano n'ono akwate wano n'oli akwate wali. Naye si kugamba nti ate gwe tuuleeka togenda mu lutalo. Mu lutalo tewali alina kutuulaka nti oba ono atuuleeka ffenna oba olyani oba olyani. Ate teruliiko nti ono mukadde ono mukulu twala maaso. Ffenna buli omu akwate oba oli wa myaka emeka ffenna tukwate olutalo tukule ki tugende maaso twejjeko olunabe twejjeko olukotobe olwamwami Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Mukama abankuumire Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale. One Uganda, one people.
Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago, welcome into the FDC family. Adam Mwana will invite Dr. Wesley, but before he does, people who work with the Lord Mayor at KCCA have said they want to thank you for joining their family.
Thank you very much. The spokesperson, he had actually said they shouldn't talk, but I'd like to appreciate him. We have for years prayed for this opportunity. We have for years longed for this moment. And we are grateful that our prayers have been answered. We are grateful that what we have fasted for years has finally come to pass. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, I take this opportunity to thank you for all the support, for the immense support that you've given us as your councillors. We have learned a lot from you. And we also take this opportunity to welcome you to FDC, a party of principles, a party that was built on love, sweat, and tears. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, welcome you to the party that was built on the solid rock of defiance. Your Worship, as your beloved councillors, we have got a personalized gift for you. That every morning, as you take that tea that Nalongo has prepared for you, FDC should be at heart. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, this should be a reminder that we still have the struggle ahead, the struggle to push the junta out of power. Like you all know, we cannot massage the dictator out of power. Your Worship, the Lord Mayor, we welcome you to where you truly belong. Thank you. This side! This side!
Thank you.
One Uganda, one people,
Adam Mwana, your job is to usher in the people's president.
Oh! take the risk of talking without my mask. Because I am a strong advocate of the mask. Ukwelinda tekuba kuki kutya. Basaba atayina mask afune ki mask tugende ku lutalo. Tugende wa lutalo. The party president of the Forum for Democratic Change, the deputy presidents of the Forum for Democratic Change, Imad Cecilia Timogwar, party elder and MP, the chairman of the Forum for Democratic Change, leader of our minority in parliament, and all the MPs who are here, distinguished Secretary General, our elders and founders of the party, the chairman, we call him Chairman Chapa Karuhanga, Haji Obeid Kamalegea, all the distinguished fighters who are here, but more so today, our newest entrant and Saba Omulodi w'ekibuga Kampala, Salongo ne Nalongo, Lukwago. We are extremely excited today to have this function. I have been rather angry, and sometimes I'm saying that I am always angry. I have really been quite angry these days. But today I have a reason to smile. And that is because Salongo Erias Lukwago has really, over the years, as he has said, become a real brother in the struggle. We have fought and suffered in very, very many different situations, some of which he may not remember. We are united by blood, and I am glad. That's why I'm happy today. I'm glad that we are now united in our home. So welcome home. And I'd like to thank the FDC leaders and members who are here for giving you a befitting welcome to our home in Najanangu. The reason FDC indeed was formed, and I'd like to thank you for that wonderful speech that you have given. The reason FDC was formed, and indeed the reason that it has that name, that it's a forum for democratic change, is very instructive. The change, we are not fighting for any change, never. We are united in fighting for a particular change. a particular change of ending gun rule and ushering in people rule. From gun rule to people, the people must be in charge of this country. The people of Uganda must be in charge. So the struggle we are in is not a struggle for changing leaders. No. It's not a struggle of changing Museveni to Besigye or Museveni to someone else. It's a qualitative change. To change from domination of our country by a few people to popular control of Uganda. It's a qualitative change. As indeed the other speakers have said, Uganda has been dominated since the British came here. 100 and now nearly, I think, since 1894. How many years are those? 130 years, about close to 130 years. We are under domination of people who control the country with guns. Our independence fighters, the people who fought for independence and eventually achieved it under the leadership of UPC, and UPC people have never stopped jubilating for their effort in independence, and we must give it to them. They fought for independence, just like the DP fighters for independence that were led by the indomitable late Ben Chiwanuka. They did a lot. The British did not go away by requesting them to go away. They were fought until they left. We did not earn our independence on a silver platter. People died, people were beaten and tortured. People fought until the independence was granted. But since that independence, we got independence from the British, we didn't get independence from their guns. The guns they came with are still the ones outside the gate there. If you peep outside, you will see them. We are not at any war here, but they are all over the place. The struggle, the current struggle, the mission for Uganda is not a mission to change leader. It's not a mission to remove the old for the young. It's not a mission to change from this side to that side. It's a mission to leave domination for freedom. We must get freedom in Uganda. And therefore, if we realize that to get freedom we must fight for it, as we do here in FDC. In FDC we recognize that to get freedom we must
Fight for it.
Are we together?
Yes.
To get freedom we must fight for it. If we must fight for it, it is our duty to turn every Ugandan into a fighter.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes.
It's our duty to turn every Uganda into a fighter. Now let's be clear. Every fighter can vote.
Yes.
Not so?
Yes.
Is there any fighter who can fail to vote?
No.
Not every voter can fight.
True.
Are we together?
Yes.
So, when we turn our people into fighters, it doesn't weaken our ability to vote. We can vote. And not just vote, but fight for our vote. It's not by mistake that FDC dominates Kasese. It's not by mistake. The Banyarwenzururu of Kasese have been fighting since before independence. They were fighting for their own independence before Uganda got independence. Their independence from the Toro Kingdom. They were fighting before independence. And that's why sometimes you hear that name, the Yira Republic, because they wanted to form their own nation of the Banyarwenzuru. And there are many Banyarwenzuru. There are more Banyarwenzuru in Congo than in Uganda. After independence, they continued fighting. If you go to the Wenzoris, everybody you meet is a fighter. They wanted to cheat their votes there. They fought until everybody resigned and announced all the leaders in the Wenzoris as FDC. Yes. That's not because there are more supporters there maybe than in other places. It is simply because for them they are fighters. They are fighters. So we want every Ugandan to turn into a fighter for his or her own freedom. Are we together? Yes. You are not fighting for somebody else, you are fighting for your freedom. For your own freedom. Because unless we get freedom, all of us, we shall die of all the things we are dying of today. Poverty, no health care, no education, no services, no roads, no. Unless we get freedom and control of our own wealth, we shall continue suffering. These days, you know, there are people who are uneasy about people talking about domination by a few people. And they are even translating that, you know, you are talking about tribalism, sectarianism. It is familism, actually. We are talking about familism. Dominating the whole country with one family. It's not even a tribe. Giving it a tribe is you know, lifting it high. That you are dominated in a country where Mr. Museveni is the president, his wife is the minister, his brother is the one in charge of wealth, his son is the advisor on all security, his uncle is the one in foreign affairs, the other one is and when you talk, they beat you. Keep quiet. You are the problem. You are talking about you are sectarian. So the control of the country by few people means our resources are controlled by a few people. We shall not liberate it until we all become fighters, stand together and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. The reason I am overjoyed today is that I have not seen, you know, in recent times, people that are consistent in their fight for freedom, whether in the courts or in the streets, as this man here. He has devoted himself, and that's why he also recognizes that his natural home is also in Naja Nankumbi, where the other fighters are also based, trying to take the country forward. Liberation does not happen in a day. It has twists and turns. especially if you are in a country like Uganda, where people are from all kinds of angles. There are many twists and turns. We need patience. We need resilience. We need steadfastness. And that all Erias Lukwago has demonstrated. So I'd like to really most heartily, most warmly welcome you and Nalongo into our family. That we fight and win together, and if need be, die together. Those of you who don't have very good lenses to see where things are now may be worried that the situation seems impossible, seems still tough. But I can assure you, the journey we started a long time ago is about to come to an end. You see, the end is always far more challenging than where you have passed. Because by the time you walk a long distance, when you are nearing the end, you are already tired. You are already worn out. Just like those marathon runners you see, to get to the line, you must marshal additional energy. Whatever you left in reserve, you pull out until you get to the line. That's where we are. Because the people we have been fighting are already really wriggling on the ground. I don't think that the NRM junta can be weaker than it is today. It can't. Are you aware that now even the salaries they are paying and allowances they are paying to these gunmen outside here, they have to borrow? They have to borrow to pay salaries to those soldiers. And the COVID helped us to expose them. This pandemic helped us to expose what this regime was. That there was not any reserve of anything in this country. Because they didn't even have one bag of food in the store when COVID struck. They didn't have even 1 shilling in the reserve in the Bank of Uganda. The very first money that was borrowed for COVID, 600 million euro, is the money that started moving things around. Those who may have got a few kilos of posho that you saw Museveni weighing on a scale to give Ugandans. But you did. Even that portion he was weighing was borrowed money. He was weighing borrowed money. They did not have a single shilling. They did not have a single bag of food. How can you claim to be a strong government in that shape? If you cannot pay your soldiers, how can you be a strong government? And they are the soldiers who are keeping you in power. I can tell you, these soldiers are even more annoyed than you are. They are suffering more than you are doing. And let us not at any moment think that these are our enemies. They are actually our friends still trapped. We shall soon liberate them and they join us. So they have no economy, they have no security. The LODUs they trained and brought to beat up people were even more of a disaster for them than a solution. That's why they have now taken them back. But even those LDUs, they are your brothers and sisters. You know how much they are suffering. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not think that liberation is far. Let's not condition our minds according to their plans. That you are now looking at 2021. Why should you condition your mind according to their plans? Why can't Ugandans turn Uganda into their country even tomorrow? Why, or even today? Why must we wait? That we are waiting for 2021. On 26th of January 1986, when Museveni was sworn in as president, who set up that date? Who set up the date for his swearing in? It was ourselves sitting in Rubiri there having captured it. We are the one who said, now tomorrow I think we should go and swear in. Yes. We set our own agenda. You cannot liberate your own country according to the agenda of another person. That you are, waiting for, I don't know, scientific whatever. This country can be liberated at any stage. I would like the FDC to remain in the vanguard of that liberation and let us liberate our country at the earliest possible time. As the Moroda said, there are many detractors. Please don't be diverted by detractors. That's their purpose, to distract you. Are we together? People who abuse you, don't even turn to look at them. Keep your eyes on the ball. Don't look aside. This one abuses you, you run after him. This one abuses you, you run after him. That's their purpose, to distract us. Maintain your sight on the ball. And let us, in maintaining our sight on the ball, identify those whose sights are also focused on the ball, and let us work together with everybody whose sight is focused on the ball. In liberation, we must work together, because every Ugandan will want a piece of this Uganda. So every Ugandan must fight for it, whether from FDC or from another place. Those who are fighting for Uganda, let us pull together and end the game as quickly as possible. And once we maintain our eyes on the ball, we will not fail to identify who is moving towards the ball. We will know. Because, if you are attacking Bestie when he has no ball, then you must know that this one has a problem. So don't just ignore them. Maintain your eyes on who has the ball. Please don't be distracted. Abuse this one, abuse that one. Forget about them. Just attack where the ball is. And whoever is attacking where the ball is, then we hold hand in hand. We make sure that we take the ball. Are we together? So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as I have said, is a day of celebration. And I know, that this FDC is built on a lot of sacrifice. People like the Honorable Regan Okumu here, I have been seeing people parading him that he left the party. Where do they get those pictures? Who is this? Is this Regan or is this the ghost of Regan? So, but those are the detractors whom I've said we should not pay attention to. Let's just maintain our eyes on the ball. And I have no reason to doubt that we shall overcome. FDC is strong all over Uganda, you know. And, you know, but confusion is sowed and, you know, trying to distract us. You hear everybody asking, basically, is he coming? Whether he's coming or not, keep your eyes on the ball. On the ball. Has he got a ball? Let me ask, is there anybody at all who invited me in? Anybody is invited into the fight by their own conscience. And we didn't come into the fight as a part-time fight. We came to the fight until the work is done. This is why I have been unequivocal in my case. Me who brought myself, I will fight until the job is done or until I am done. I will. When I say that, you see some people. Why? And it is because many think that fighting is occupying an office. Me, I have never come into the fight to, just like the Lord Mayor told me. I never came into the fight looking for an office, never. And my eyes are not on the office, my eyes are on freedom. Not on any office. My eyes remain focused on freedom. On equality, that I can walk with my swagger, nobody. That we can share the wealth of Uganda equally. That is my fight. Not that I become into any office. And you know, sometimes people even think that fighting is a luxury. That maybe we enjoy being there. That's why they compare me with Museveni. They think fighting a dictator is a luxury. I enjoy it. That's what they think, some people. It's not. Try it for a few years, then you will know. You will know. So, people will sooner or later understand our struggle, that our ball is not an office. Our ball is the freedom of our country. And in doing that, if we unite to procure that transition, we can't fail to have a leadership that will take us through the transition. We can't. Whoever it is. But let's first focus our eyes where we are going. As I have said, for me, the confidence about ending this is great. I am not a prophet. I have even never in my dream met God, whom I believe in very, very strongly. I'm a committed believer in God, but I have never, you know, you hear people, God talk to me. He has never talked to me. But I believe in Him and I believe in His works. But in my ordinary, simple way, I am able to say that if we go through here, we can get there. Many people whom we were arguing with, whether Museveni will go 2 terms or no term, you know, many people, I told them Museveni is not going anywhere, we must fight him as early as possible. Said, no, give him his last term. Now, some of those colleagues, you find them saying that even now, what we are saying that we must fight for our freedom is wrong. We shall see who is wrong and who is right. But I believe that the end of this struggle is very, very near. We talked about the year of double, 2020. Keep looking at it, 2020. And look at how many things have happened. Even now, there are locusts already in Karamoja, in those areas. People are fighting locusts. Are you aware? Have you ever seen locusts in your life? They came in 2020. The lake is already chasing people all over. The rivers are overflowing. The floods are everywhere. 2020. Now there is COVID. And COVID is real, my brothers and sisters. Don't take it as a joke. I said, COVID is also real. It's there. 2020. Warm up. Warm up. Let's finish the job. 20. Let's finish our job. 2020. It is possible. We can make it. I would like to thank you very much for coming, and may the God bless all of you. One Uganda, one people.
Thank you very much. One Uganda, one people. We will have the national anthem to mark the end of this function. And after the national anthem, Madam Mulwana, you will escort our guests out of this function. Someone lost these specs. Please, thank you very much. We'll have the national anthem, and please kindly allow our guests to leave first, then we will follow them.
Erias, Lukwago.